Welcome everybody. We are going to be doing the bank video that everyone is doing right about this time of the year. I've always thought they were, fun to do. So that is what we will do. We're going to cover both accounts. So my alt account that I started not long ago and this account and everything that I've kind of gone through and accomplished. So we'll go through, especially on this account, since we are pushing eventually for all of the capes, we can kind of go about it that way. So we can go over to our summary page here, and you will see achievement progress wise. We're at 2237 out of 3353 achievements completed. Quest wise, we are sitting at 430 quest points out of 449, with 17 not started, 3 of them in progress. So a total of 20 it is showing that will need to be completed. Money pouch, we are sitting with 188 mil, a total XP of 1.55 billion XP, which is pretty good. I'm hoping to be at 3 bill or more by the end of the year. I think that it's definitely achievable. It'll just be a grind. Total level 3013. We just need to finish up getting necromancy to 120. Beyond that, our virtual level is 3190. We have accomplished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 120s. Well, 9 if you count invention to 120. So 9 done. Hopefully we get, I'm hopeful at least, we get the Master Max Cape by the time of next year. Hopefully, we're going to get Quest Cape, no doubt. We have Max. We will be getting Comp Cape this year. Hopefully, we get Comp Trim and Master Max along with, with Comp Trim, MQC. I don't know in terms of like Master Comp Trim if we will get that, but I am very hopeful that we will. So hopping into, I guess we can start at the Grand Exchange. I am currently buying 100,000 buckets of milk. Why? I just want the kind of cool collection, stocking up on some runes. This is for our Clue Scroll kind of series. We have about 108 mil sitting there. Had to round it up just a tad bit. Just made it easy. Silver Ox, passively, just buying more and more, pretty much keeping buy offers in and trying to stockpile for 200 million agility very passively. And is that? No, that is not. So we'll start at the top. We kind of started at the bottom. Now, I don't know of a way to price check a particular tab, so we won't know what the tabs are worth, right? But hopping into it, at the top, we've got our runes, our pouches, our binding contracts. I do need to re-up on some runes like astral runes, blood runes. They're getting low. I'll need to buy some more of them. And some others. We've got a decent little set of pure essence and some impure essence. This is mainly what I'm getting from rituals. I think I've got probably 5k because I just claimed recently, sitting at the ritual site. I will need to re-up on binding contracts and their scrolls. I'm starting to run a bit low. We do have our cannon, our ODAC coil, and then our kinetic is here. I want to get them in line, but I also don't want to mess this up. So the bank will probably have to be reorganized shortly. I just don't feel like doing it at the moment. ODAC coil and kinetic are upgraded to the 150%. I haven't done the multi-cannon because it is about 15 mil or so to upgrade. We've got here our weapons, just about all of our weaponry. Now that's just an extra. Same with the battle staff. But we've got our Noxious longbow. We've got our superior Vestus spear. This I'll be getting rid of too. We've got our Drygors. We've got the Mage dual wield. So the Cywir Elders and the Seismic Wand, they are not perked out. We've got the Gothic Staff, which will be EOF'd in the future. The Augmented Inquisitor Staff, fully upgraded, so it does have the enchantment effect. It is level 12, so that is going to be some good XP sitting there. We've got our fully perked out Omni Guard and Soulbound Lanterns. Those I'm trying to get to level 20. Same with our tier of armor. As we see, we've got my core armors sitting here. So we've got the tier 95, the Crown of the First, well, the first Necromancy set. So I've got perked out armor here, as we can see. I've got my foot wraps, the full set. I've got the full set of Serenic. Nightmare gauntlets, which are set. I haven't used them a ton. I've got my fleeting boots. I've got my laceration boots, razorback gauntlets, masterwork, jaws of the abyss. Now this is just base masterwork that will have to be upgraded in the future. I've got my full set of crit bloom that is perked out. I've got my tier 90 power armor for necromancy. I've also got my tier 90 tank armor sitting here, but I just haven't rearranged the bank. My necklaces, my EOF for necromancy, my demon horns, and some others. These I will eventually just have to, I guess, probably destroy and replace these slots with EOFs because I don't need, an arcane blast at this point. But it's more or less a placeholder now. Then I've got my rings, my Luck of the Dwarves. I will probably replace this because I don't foresee myself using the Surgeon's Ring anytime soon, just because I think the Reaver Ring is probably a better one to keep, or one of the other DK rings when I get them. The Superior Leviathan Ring, that will be disassembled. My Taco Zoe at the top, kind of as we go across, you got our cannonballs, our herb bag, our gem bag, my spring cleaner, all of my accessories for combat for the most part. Same with like your Ancient Elven Ritual, Excalibur, you can see it. Soul Reaper refreshes, life refreshes, my incense sticks, lucky charms, and some teleports. My capes, this is just extra stuff, pretty much. Extra space I didn't know what to put there. We got our capes. I'm hoping next year sometime, or well, I keep saying next year. Hopefully sometime this year we can get the like hard mode Zuck cape that combines all of them into one. But that's something we will just have to work towards. My gloves definitely need a spot, just like my Death Touch bracelet and Cindermanes. They don't really have a dedicated area right now. Reef Walker cape, all of that will have to get. We'll have to get rid of it all. So the bottom of this is just extra, my halberds, as I'll need to get these to level 10 for disassembling in the future. My exoskeleton when I was doing my thieving for 120, whatever. Now if we go into our loot / PVM tab, which is going to just be loot from anything that has drops. That's what this is. Among, there are things in here that I have bought to skill with, but that is kind of just part of it. So you can see I've got some shards sitting there, some pouches. My charms are getting built back up. I've got the gems, which I don't foresee pretty much ever using. I've got my longbone collection, which I've just been, every time I get a longbone, I just build them up. My other bones, dragon bones, dragonkin, dinosaur, etc. You kind of name it, I'm just slowly building it up. This one's an interesting one. This is all from thieving, for the most part. This is all from thieving, so decent little stack there. It'd be nice to kind of like get this to 100k. It just looks nice, sort of like the Resonant Anima. Battle staves, that most of these battle staves are either drops or from Saren Spirits. Same with a lot of this that I've got a weird amount of. It's just from Saren Spirits, really. But I've got 1,000 Royal Dragonhide. I don't know how I have 1,000, to be honest with you. Same with like the Black Dragonhide. I don't know how I have 1,200 or 600 Green Dragonhide. Surely something I killed, I dropped it, I don't know. My raw food, which is for the most part being used at player-owned farms, but it's all kind of neatly set here. Dragon tips, planks, and same with logs. Kind of building up logs from the Kingdom of Miscellanea. Herbs, kind of reduce it down to the core herbs, and same with seeds. I have reduced it. I'll have to reduce it down again. But just things, like we bought the fell stalks, of course, and we bought the snape grass and the prickly pear, and there are things we have bought in here like our torsals. But a lot of this, are used seeds and things like that, or magic seeds. It's just kind of built up as I have played the game. Our Triskelion keys, I am really happy with my collection I've built up so far of crystal keys and the pieces. So that'll be something we build up. Our alkables, building a little collection. I will just put them all into the main Alker, the Alchemizer, my Onyx dust and gems. So I've got a good amount building up of Onyx and various different gems here. And we move into our bolts. We got our arrows, bolts. A lot of this, like when I'm doing like our steel arrows, 22,000 steel arrows. Same with our darts here. These are all just from God Wars Dungeon 1. I just kind of area loot, pick them up, and I just decided I'm going to keep collecting them. I think we've got like 32,000 steel arrows somewhere. Or not steel arrows, but like steel darts. We've picked up a nice little collection there. Orbs, various other things, dragon items, dragon helms. These are pretty much, for the most part, exclusively just from Saren Spirits. Then we've got etc. random things, dinosaur, key to the crossings, which a lot of these we purchased for killing the Magister. Keys that we've just gotten. Our manuscripts that we've kind of accumulated. Same with various alcohols from the not raids. I can't even think of them now. It's the Elite Dungeons. That's what it was. So some alcohols from the Elite Dungeons that we're kind of sitting on. Nothing else too crazy. Our Ascension Signets, which I will eventually, I am going to go for logs. So I've kind of built up a little collection of keys here to go through and get all of these. Here's our darts. We need to move this over. But we'll kind of build that up as time goes on. Kind of go about it that way. Various random things that I don't know how to organize and order. These scrolls, which I did an achievement. They shouldn't be here, but I don't know really where to put them. I'll probably just have to get rid of them, to be honest. That's about all it is for this tab, is just kind of random things. You got our shards, our God Wars Dungeon 1 things. I've just, instead of selling it, I decided I would keep it. Our vital sparks, just kind of accumulating a good little amount. Our our potion tab and food tab, as we can see here. This is looking pretty nice. I think I've got enough of the dust for getting the blessed flask in the future. I've got some materials to do some potions for some Vuln bombs at the next double XP event, so I can just go ahead and get 200 mil in herb lore. Overloads, our Elder Low salves, brews, flasks. I mean, we've kind of built up. I'm buying slowly more overload recipes. I need to get that set so I can just go through and churn through a bunch of those. Same with making more adrenaline renewals. I've got 1,300, which should last me a while, but I will need to do that for Elder Overloads and especially salves. Go through and start doing that. I've got prayer potions. I've got a decent little set, but it needs to be reorganized and set up a bit better in the future. Toad Flax here just for the cleaner. This is kind of just a random tab of capes and various things that could be quest related or achievement related that I don't want to get rid of, like the composite ogre bow. I just can't be asked to get rid of it and then have to look it up to get it later again in the future. And that's sort of why it's just going to sit there for now. Once I finish up a lot of achievements, this will be cleaned up a bit more. I'll probably just keep, hopefully once we get the 120L, I can just go and just keep the 120 capes because I think those do look nice. The caskets are here for a future court summons grind, so we'll need to be doing that. This is just like our farming resources tab. I forgot I had 58,000 of these. Oh, okay. But you can see it's just player and farm stuff, whether it's like turtle shells for doing the arc, treasure maps, you name it. This is just random skilling outputs or otherwise. So kind of getting a nice little build up here. It needs to be cleaned up eventually. I've got herbs. I've got 11,000 Limport roots that I don't know why I have at this point. It is a lot to have for zero reason. Random vibrant energy. This is just, it's a mess for the most part. Our harmonic dust, which we will be farming. But yeah, it's, just a random assortment of things that I am kind of passively building up. Then we've got our kind of like what I'm most happy about organization wise is our skilling tab, because I've got it set and I'm working on getting it set to where it's got like our mining goes into our weapons, and like that But I don't have all the perfect weapon setups just yet, so it's not going to be the most optimal. You know, like I've got my crystal hatchet, but truly I should put like the torch down here, which this just then throws off. You know, then I've got to move the crafting cleaner, and we could do it like that. So my fire torch is there. We've got a ton of skilling supplies here. Our leather is sitting here. It's overall a nice little tab. My collection of Viswax is now at 5,300. I sort of just forget that it exists, and that's kind of how I've just gone about it, to be honest. I just build it up every day, and then if I need to use it, I have it. But until it gets to like a bigger stack, I'm not really concerned about selling it at the moment. I don't necessarily need to sell it at the moment, I should say. That's the best way to go about it. My collection of Silverhawk feathers. So we've gotten quite a few. I think we were sitting at a total between the downs from the event and everything is like 40K. It's quite a bit. We're getting a nice little collection going. You know, premier artifacts. We got just a random assortment of things. Building up my proteins, you name it. My portables, everything else. This is all my core skilling items are sitting in here. Then I got my clue scroll tab, which is at this point just a variety of different teleport means. So if it's got a teleport, it probably is sitting in this bank tab somewhere. It'll need to be cleaned up as well, especially now that we're using the Passage of the Abyss, and it's not too bad. You know, it's I like the item if whenever I remember to use it. We got our Globetrotter in here. This is for rituals. Nice little kind of collection building up here. All of the Necroplasm, I think what I'll do, because Necroplasm you can go through and turn into ghostly inks. I think, and it's not a ton of XP, but it is XP. I don't know if I'm going to do it or I'll have my alt account do that. I don't know just yet. Then I've got my kind of collection tab. It doesn't have a ton of wealth in it, but it's got a nice little buildup of things that I've purchased, I've gotten, I'm collecting, whatever the case is. So, you know, this is like a sneak peek on things that I'm saving to make videos on too. But, you know, I've got an Aurora die, some purple Santas. I've got some rares like a golden party hat, my Halloween mask, fish mask, random collection of like different title scrolls. My pet collection is looking really, really nice. I'm slowly building this up. Eventually, we will do all of them all at once. We got this year 2 of the bossing pets, and that is the Krill and KBD. Kind of happy with that, but I think overall we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 skilling pets. We got the clue scroll pets, and then we've got this hermit crab. Pretty nice. And then I've got, you know, the 2 pets here as well. We've got our kind of collection of these troves that we'll build up into an opening in the future. My Tetracompass collection and my tokens that I've kind of bought, been given, been whatever the case is. I just kind of sit them in here and not doing anything with them. Then we got our archaeology. This I cannot wait to fully clean up once I hit 200 mil. I will go through and just finish cleaning everything to the point where the only things I might in the future have would be like, you know, this Inquisitor staff ornament or our, you know, key thing we're going for. But we are sitting at about 105 or so of these collections, which is, I think it's about 21 full Tetracompass. If I'm thinking about it right, is sitting about right there. So we've got about 40 Tetracompass to go through, and then we've got what will be my essentially double XP tab, which I will, as I get things to level 10 that I want to disassemble, they will go in here. They will be disassembled at double XP, and I know it doesn't give you XP for the double XP, but it is for a competition, so I want to bank a bunch of experience for that so I can have an extra, like, say 50, 60 mil XP sitting in just things that I can get rid of if I need it to, you know, finish number 1. Same here, Supreme Growths. I need to definitely get this stack up higher so I can push and get 200 mil farming. That's one big thing, but 831 of those so far is pretty nice. So doing well overall. And then if we go into the wealth evaluator, we can see I am worth, and mind you, like most of this is in stuff that's augmented. So you've got that 11.3 bill GP. Overall, great year. The blood die and some other lucky drops, but the blood die really carried the most, the absolute most. So with that, let's hop on over to the alt account now and take a look and see what I've got there. Here we are on the alt account. As you can see, I'm in the Artisan's Workshop. There's a good reason for it, and it's because I have been doing an absolute ton of skilling here. That's like the most part of what I've been doing is, is it this here? Okay, that'll work. I'll just leave it like that. Cool. So you can see, looking at stats for this account, it's done only 340 achievements, only 25 quests, has 27.5 mil, total XP 45 mil. I think I'm pretty happy with that so far. Combat level of 65 and a total level of 1678. No virtual levels. We've accomplished 199 the mining, and we are coming on to 99 smithing pretty shortly. I am just doing Elder Rune now at this point, so hopefully, not hopefully, I know I've got enough Elder Rune or the materials to make Elder Rune bars to get 99. I'm not concerned about that. The rest of the skills, sitting nicely. 90 divination, so I now have access to ports, so I can do ports and slowly work my way up on ports and get access to various different things. Looking at the bank, this, I will just tell you now, this bank is highly disorganized. I mean, I've got random, okay, honestly, this tab can be deleted. My start of the archaeology tab, it's messy to say the least. I haven't gone far really in archaeology at this point on the account. This tab I could at this also point collapse just to clean it up. I believe this is just quest items. Yeah, random quest items. These are what I'm holding from a main account because I don't have enough space in my banks to hold them. And then I've got thieving stuff. It's sitting on things it's kind of collected, hunted. It's a random assortment of items. There's nothing crazy. My statue collection, I need to go get the bag for it, and that way this can be at least somewhat organized, more than it is now. Then I've kind of got my various different things, my mimic kills that I've kind of accumulated from skilling, death touch darts that I've gotten, resources that I've either bought and gotten, picked up, you name it. Random items. That's like what I've noticed is this just has random items like everywhere. I can't explain at this point for it. This is gonna be like a skilling tab of things that it's just built up so far. I think it looks pretty nice for what it's accomplished. I mean, it's gotten a good amount of silver rock feathers from the event so far. Now, mind you, this one did not get a bond for the double papers, so a lot of this has just been from its normal paper usage. I think it's pretty well off so far. At least if you were to ask me. Looking at it here, like pouches, I was disassembling these, but, same with the magic short bows. Cooking stuff, fire making, you name it. It's just a random assortment. I'm going to keep saying that because I don't know how else to describe it. I mean, I bought a cannon. I can't use it yet. Kind of a dumb purchase, but I've got it for whenever I can. An unchecked dragon, a diviner's handwear, some necromancy, the starting points of it. These cosmetics I will eventually just need to destroy. I need to keep them somewhat organized. Again, this is archaeology stuff. I've got already a tab for it. I just need to reorganize the bank pretty much because there's no reason any of that should be there. If we're being completely honest, doesn't make any sense. I can go ahead and toss this over here, and that clears the tab up. The beginning of potions, port resource crates, that can go in there. Just some of the potions I've needed, cosmetic items, except for I guess this chapel token can go there. And then I've got just my main tab, which is clues I've kind of accumulated so far, some runes I've purchased, some teleport tabs, gems I've crafted and I didn't sell yet. Just a completely random assortment. You know, my Lucky Arcane Shield, the festive scrolls that I've gotten. Kind of cool to have 3 already on this account. This account definitely got a lot luckier than my main account. You know, Death Warden, Gloom Shroom. It's just like a whole random like 42 Dragon Stones. Like that's definitely nice to have, especially on an account like this. Same with our Spirit Onyx. Like our keys have been really good on this account for our dailies and everything else. Overall, happy with that. 18,000 wood leaves, which I'll use for player and farm in the future. That's nice to have as well. But that's, I mean, about it. You know, our presets really aren't set up. This is what I just run, is this outfit right here right now. And that's all we were doing, is we get the full modified, or not modified, but the full blacksmith with the modified helm. And I've just been AFKing. I just kind of sit here and do this right here, and am getting my invention up through this. So we have gotten some good levels. We're at 63 invention, which I'm quite happy about. Overall, bonus XP wise, we've built up a good amount of bonus XP from this event, to the extent of having 99 divination. I actually just threw everything in divination bonus XP wise and didn't think about it, and I overshot it. Or no, I'm undershot it actually. But overall, I mean, net worth wise, this account is somehow worth 575 mil. I understand I have equipped the Grace of the Elves and Luck of the Dwarves, so that's like 80, 100 mil or whatever. But where 200 mil is in the bank, I could not tell you. I have zero idea. It is just random items. But worth $500 million on my alt account. It's got really lucky with drops, especially its daily claims, like every 2 hours, going and claiming from the winter event. It has made a ton of money. I mean, a ton of money doing that. So overall, you know, there's our bank video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and you have a good 2024. I'm curious to see if you guys want to drop a comment and kind of like an initial post about where you're sitting and then where you want to be. I would love to see what you guys are shooting for.